What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video I am actually building something that I am really excited about. I built a house for the 100 baby challenge and it's base game only. So literally everyone who has the base game of course, but pretty much everyone can download and use this build and I'm just very excited about it. I was just really in the mood to build something for the 100 baby challenge because I kind of need a new house myself for that challenge that I am playing myself. My sim, she's living in a perfectly fine house right now, but it is a little bit weird looking because I did have to renovate it a couple times and stuff like that. So it just doesn't really look right and I don't like it anymore. So that's why I decided to just build a new house for the 100 baby challenge. And I thought I might as well just make it base game only so that a lot of people maybe can use it if they want to. And so that it's pretty much downloadable for everyone, if that makes any sense. So for this house, I did want to try and keep it as clear as possible because, in my opinion, the 100 baby challenge can sometimes sometimes it's a little bit chaotic because there's a lot of kids in your household, a lot of toddlers most of the time, and children, and yeah, it's just a very busy and chaotic household most of the time. So I did want to focus for this house. I try to focus on the usability of the house. Usually whenever I start building a house, I pay most of my attention to what it looks like, and I want it to be aesthetically pleasing and pretty and just beautiful to look at. And for this house, I was like, we're not gonna do that. I spent a lot of time, as you can see right now, on figuring out the floor plan and everything, and it did take me a while because before I painted the house and placed the windows and everything, I just wanted to figure out the floor plan. Because usually what I do, like I just mentioned, usually what I do is I pay a lot of attention to the outside of the house and I place the windows and stuff like that before I figure out the floor plan, and then I figure out a layout in the house later and I just kind of follow the guidelines of the windows and everything that I already placed. But for this house, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I am first going to figure out the layout so that makes the most sense, and then I'll place the windows and everything later. So that's what I did for this one. That was a little bit different for me, but it did work out perfectly fine. I do think that the layout is pretty clear and just easy to look at and easy to find your way around, I think. It is not a very big house. I see a lot of those like 100 baby challenge mansions and stuff like that on the gallery, but I didn't want to do that because, for one, I didn't want this house to be too expensive. I mean, it's still pretty expensive. I think it comes in at around 120,000 simoleons. I'm not quite sure, but it's something like that. So it is definitely not a starter home. You're gonna have to save up money if you're not cheating, that is, but then you're gonna have to just save up a lot of money to be able to afford this house. But I think that's fine. I mean, my 100 baby challenge mom, she is quite rich and the only thing she ever does is paint. But I find that Sims kind of level up in painting quite fast. So you can easily make a lot of money with painting or gardening or anything. But I am building this house with base game only, so I do not have all the gardening essentials that come with seasons, for example. But yeah, for my gameplay, when I play the 100 baby challenge, my mom, she's a painter and she makes a lot of money. I mean, I can't afford to buy this house quite yet, but I'm getting there. So in the end, I'll finally be able to buy this and that will be great. But yeah, here you can see me just fiddling around. Like I said, the house is not too big, but I do think that that is very good for the usability of the house. And yeah, it makes it really clear to play in and just really easy on the eyes and stuff like that. And I do really like the shape of the house. It's a cute little suburban house and I built it in Willow Creek. So it's really just a base game house, but I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I thought I was going to be very limited and stuff like that because obviously I'm only base game, so I only have base game installed right now, so I do not have all the stuff that I'm used to using. But I didn't even find it that challenging at all. I mean, I was definitely missing some items that I was like, you know, sometimes how you're just so used to using items that my mind automatically just went there in the catalog. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna grab this and this item. And then I was like, oh wait, no, of course I can't because I only have base game. So that stuff like that happened a couple times, but it was all fine because I could really easily find alternatives and stuff like that for everything that I wanted to use. So it was quite easy. And I found it so refreshing because I didn't have that many items to choose from. I am so indecisive when it comes to building homes. Like, I can literally spend like 20 minutes on picking a couch, even though I already know exactly what all the couches look like. But sometimes I just can't make up my mind. And that can become quite tiring from time to time because furnishing homes always takes me forever. And for this one, it didn't really take me that long because I didn't have that much stuff to choose from. And that was, like I said, very refreshing, and I'm definitely going to do some more restricted pack builds in the future because it was just very nice and easy, and it makes me appreciate the things that we have in the game so much more. So yeah, that was quite the experience for me because I have never really done a base game only build. I think I made like a base game only starter home a very long time ago. But that's basically it, because I'm always a little bit afraid of restricting myself because I'm kind of a little bit afraid sometimes that then my builds won't be as good or that I won't like my builds. But that's exactly why I wanted to do it for this one, because I wanted to challenge myself a little bit and I wanted to see what I could come up with base game only. And what I found out is that it's really not that hard because base game does have a lot of cool stuff. It didn't in the beginning because let's be real, we did have a few updates that really improved base game over the years, but still, those updates did happen and now we have a lot of cool stuff in the base game. So yeah, I'm just really happy with the way that this build came out. Now, I didn't restrict myself for this one with a budget, so like I already said, it's definitely not a base game house. It's quite expensive, but definitely not the most expensive house that I've ever built. I also feel like that base game items are not that expensive in general. I mean, landscaping is pretty expensive, so I did try and use a lot of debug items, a lot of debug plans. You can see me placing down lots of debug plans right now, but I didn't use debug plans only. Later on, I hopped into the regular or the normal build by catalog for plants and I just placed down a couple of those, but I did try to at least use some free plants so that it wouldn't make the house too expensive, and I do think that that worked out perfectly fine. So I did do a lot of landscaping, but not too much. Like the backyard, I left that quite bare. There's a lot of space left in there because if you do have more packs than just base game, I wanted there to be some space in the backyard for you to just place down some extra items or skill building items that you want or need in your game. You can even maybe just make the garden area a little bit bigger if your mom sim is a gardener and she makes her money that way. I just wanted to make sure that there is lots of space left on the lot to just add more things according to what you want and need for your gameplay. But yeah, basically, here you can see me just placing down some landscaping, and I think this is pretty much everything I did landscaping-wise. I'm just decorating the house a little bit with some planter boxes and stuff like that, because I did want to make it look quite lush and overgrown like I always do, because that is just really the way I build and what I like to do for my builds, especially in Willow Creek. The houses in Willow Creek just look so cozy to me. There's a lot of landscaping. The world is so green and just colorful, and there's lots of plants everywhere. So I did want to try to make this build fit in as best as I could. And here you can see me moving on to the inside of the house. So what I did for the layout here downstairs is I made a toddler bedroom and a toddler bathroom, or it is a hall bathroom, but it's really close to the toddler bedroom. And there is also a shower tub combination in there, and it's the only tub in the house, so you're gonna need that for your toddlers. So what I always do when it comes to the 100 baby challenge is I lock my toddlers in their bedroom. I know that is terrible, but I'm sure that I'm not the only one who does that, because I cannot deal with toddlers. They are so difficult to handle, and I can definitely only handle 2 toddlers at a time. So that's why I only placed 2 toddler beds in the bedroom. But you can easily fit in 1 or 2 extra toddler beds, or just swap around some of the upstairs bedrooms and place 3 bigger beds in the toddler bedroom if you wanted to. I mean, this house basically is really easy to just renovate a little bit. If you want the bedrooms to be a little bit different, or if you want your toddlers upstairs or anything, you can easily just swap around the furniture, and that would be very easy to do. But yeah, like I said, I always lock my toddlers in their bedroom, so I did want to make sure that their bedroom is quite spacious, because toddlers do need the most skill building items out of all the age categories. I mean, for kids and teens, you don't really need any specific skill building items. I mean, you do, but what I usually do for children, because you know how they have to level up a skill to, I think, eventually level 4 to be able to get an A in grade school. But I usually have them level up their social skill, because it's very easy. I can just have them talk to each other whenever they're eating or doing homework or something like that. So I can get their needs up at the same time as I'm getting up their, or leveling up their skill. So that's very easy and useful, and just a very easy thing to do that I usually work with. So that's what I usually do for kids. But toddlers, they do need a lot of skill building items. So I did make sure that I have enough room in their bedroom to place down all the skill building items that they need, basically. I also placed potties in their bedroom. I know that is a little bit gross. But I mean, it's the 100 baby challenge. It's not that realistic to begin with, so it doesn't really matter. And you can just clean out the potties when they're dirty. I mean, what's the harm in that? I don't really see any harm in that. So, but you'll see me furnish their bedroom a little bit later on. Here I'm just furnishing the kitchen and the dining and living area. There is no high chairs in the kitchen either, because, well, like I already mentioned, I always lock my toddlers in their bedroom. So whenever they're hungry, I just open the fridge and I drag a plate of something that's in there to their bedroom and have them grab a plate and eat it that way. Because if I'm gonna have to feed my toddlers and putting them in the high chairs and stuff like that, it's gonna take forever. I mean, those high chairs, they're so glitched out. I do like the way they look, and I do really like that it looks so realistic whenever you place them down in the dining area. But for the 100 baby challenge, it's just really not realistic. So I was thinking I'll just, instead of placing down high chairs, I'll just place down a few extra regular chairs so the kids or teens can sit there and just do their homework or something like that. And there is a very small living area here. The downstairs area is quite small, and I did use a lot of space for the kitchen and dining area, because I do tend to use that area the most out of all the areas in the house when I'm playing this challenge, because I don't really have my Sims ever watch TV. Sometimes I have them watch TV while they're eating if they need to get their fun up or something. But if I have kids in my household that need to get their fun up, I'll just have them go outside and play on the monkey bars or something like that. Or just have them monkey around with each other or something like that. But my mom, she sometimes, or my Sim mom in the challenge, I mean, she does need some fun from time to time, and then sometimes I'll have her watch TV or I'll have the teens watch TV. But basically, I didn't need that much space for a sitting area / TV area, so it's quite small, and I didn't want to clutter the house up too much, because like I said, I was really focusing on the usability of the house. So usually whenever I build, I try to clutter up my builds just as much as possible, because I want to have my builds look very realistic and lived in and stuff like that. But this house is basically just for the 100 baby challenge. So the households can get quite busy and chaotic. So I didn't want the interior to be too chaotic and just too busy looking. So I tried to tone it down with the clutter as much as possible, but still make it look lived in. So you can definitely see me placing down a few clutter items here and there, but definitely not too much. So there's lots of free space in the house to just, keep the oversight, if that makes any sense. So you don't lose track of where your Sims are and stuff like that. And so this is the hall bathroom downstairs. This is, like I mentioned, the bathroom for the toddlers. There's a shower tub combination in there. And right now I am just decorating the toddler's bedroom. I just tried to make it look colorful and bright. And I gave them all the toys and skill building items that they would need in here. I forgot, actually, what I usually do is I place down a radio somewhere to have them be able to bob to the music to get their movement skill up. But I didn't place one in here. I think I just forgot. But I do have plenty of other base game skill building items in here, and I do think that the room still looks very cute and just realistic and lived in, and they have lots of space in here to just play with each other. And yeah, it's basically just their little prison, but I try to make it look as cute as possible. I am certain that I am not the only one who locks up their toddlers in the bedroom for this challenge. You have to let me know if you do that as well, because I don't know how else you would be able to handle those little demons. I mean, I like toddlers, they're cute and all, but in the 100 baby challenge, oh my goodness, they just stress me out because it takes forever to get their skills up. And I play with the official rules basically, but I do play with the rule that you have to only level up 3 of the skills for the toddlers to the maximum height. So instead of all the skills, because that is just too much and I can't handle that. So I just have them max out 3 out of, I think, 5 skills. And then I have them age up because I can't deal with it. And I can only really ever handle 2 toddlers at a time. And I have my sim have twins pretty much the whole time. I'm not cheating that or anything. The lot that my sim is living on right now, it has that lot trait that gives you twins pretty much all the time. And I do think that works out very well for this challenge. Because, I don't know, it just goes a little bit faster that way. But the one thing is that when your sim gets pregnant again, you need to make sure that you have 2 empty slots in your household at the time she's getting pregnant. Otherwise, the game will just generate 1 baby for her because you only have 1 empty slot. So that really definitely does take a little bit of planning. But if you have twins pretty much the whole time, then your Sims are gonna age up 2 by 2 basically the whole time. So that makes it a little bit easier, I guess. But yeah, I definitely can only handle 2 toddlers at a time. So that's what I made this house for. And then there is a teen bedroom with 2 beds and a kid bedroom with 2 beds. And then there's a nursery with 2 little baby beds in there. And you could also make that room into a bedroom for 1 sim. You can see it right here. It's very small. So you could definitely only fit 1 single bed in here if you wanted to, but it could fit if you wanted to and just place a crib in the mom's bedroom or in the hallway or something like that. It doesn't really matter. You can basically just place babies wherever you want. But I did decorate this little nursery because I always like nurseries. They're cute, and I don't know, I tried to make them a little bit cute and colorful and at least a little bit realistic, even though babies are objects in this game, which is so sad. I mean, I definitely hope they're going to change that someday, but I don't think so because we're already so far into the Sims 4 game, so I don't think that is ever gonna change, and that is quite sad. But I mean, it's fine. It works out just fine. But here you can see me decorating the teen bedroom. You could also use this for kids, really. It doesn't really matter. But I did want to try and just make 2 different looking bedrooms, one for teens and one for kids, because I don't know, I just think that's a little bit of fun and it looks realistic and just a little bit cute. So that's what I went ahead and did. You could, well, I don't actually know if you could fit 1 extra bed in here, but I don't think you would need one. I mean, there's 4 single beds in this house, and I think that should be fine. But like I said, you could change the nursery into a bedroom for 1 single sim with 1 single bed in there. But that could fit just fine. So if you wanted to change it up that way, then that is definitely possible. And here I am just decorating the children's bedroom. I did try and make it a little bit more colorful and playful, and I used the kids' furniture that comes with the base game. So it definitely looks like it's meant for younger kids than the other bedroom that I just decorated. But yeah, I am really happy with the way that this house turned out. I am really happy that I was able to do this with just base game. I don't know, I'm quite proud of it. And like I mentioned before, I'm definitely triggered to do more restricted pack builds. So you can always let me know which pack I should build with, which expansion pack I should build with next. Because I'm definitely tempted to just try and build something more restricted again. Because I was definitely having a lot of fun with this, and I didn't really expect that to happen. But I'm really happy about it. And here you can see me placing down all the toilets and the showers. I was planning on placing down the showers from Discover University in there, but then I realized, of course, I can't because they don't come with base game. So I just placed down 2 regular showers, and I think I swapped out one of the 4 toilets for a shower a little bit later on. So I have 3 toilets, 3 sinks, and 3 showers in there, and that should be plenty for all the Sims to use. And I did make it so that all the Sims can use showers and toilets at the same time without getting embarrassed. That is one thing that I definitely need when I'm playing the 100 Baby Challenge is I need a bathroom like that, because otherwise you're gonna go crazy. But that was basically it for the inside of the house. I moved on to the backyard. So like I mentioned, I placed down some of those planter boxes. So you can do some gardening. I also placed down 3 easels because I usually use painting to make money. And I also always have my teen Sims level up their painting skill, because teens also need to reach, I think, level 3 eventually to be able to get an A in high school. And I usually always do painting so that I can make a little bit of money at the same time. And I also just placed down a couple of those gardening planter pots, so you could do that as well. And you could also just make it your own. So I didn't really make it too detailed with landscaping or anything, because I want it to be a little bit more easy for you to just delete everything that's in here and place down the items that you would need for your gameplay. But yeah, that is basically pretty much it for this build. You can definitely download this off the gallery if you want to use this house yourself for the 100 Baby Challenge. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Instagram if you'd like. My Instagram handle is @Simmarysims as well, and you can always leave all your comments and questions down below in the comment section. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next build. Bye!